All right, let's get right into it. Today we're going deep, really deep, into the world of Ciro Lopez.
Ciro Lopez.
Yeah, he's the Spanish football commentator,
Yeah.
and he's got this YouTube channel.
Okay, yeah.
It's like all Real Madrid all the time,
Yeah.
which, pretty intense, right?
Yeah.
But we've been digging through his videos, reading transcripts, and man,
Oh, wow.
things get pretty interesting, like really heated sometimes. So we're going to break it all down for you in this deep dive.
I'm intrigued already. What's so interesting about the Ciro Lopez guy? Like, why him?
Well, for one thing, his channel, it's not just like your typical fan rants, you know what I mean? It's like he's got this whole community.
Oh,
Like, seriously, former players, youth coaches, even some pretty serious analysts, all these people chiming in, like dissecting every little thing Real Madrid does.
that's pretty impressive, actually. Real mix of voices, huh?
Yeah, and they're all super passionate, opinions flying left and right.
I bet. So, what are they all like arguing about? What's the hot topic?
Well, Carlo Ancelotti, he's the current coach, right? He seems to be
Yeah.
the main target. A lot of the talk is about, like, his tactics, how he manages the team, stuff like that.
Interesting. Ancelotti's a pretty big name, though, right? Like, he's got a pretty impressive track record. Lots of wins, even Champions League titles, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, no, for sure. Nobody's denying his success, but it seems like there's this constant debate, like, are his methods still working? Is he the right guy for Real Madrid, like, right now?
Uh-huh. I see. So it's less about his overall ability and more about whether he's still, like, the right fit for the club at this specific point in time.
Exactly. Like, some folks are saying he's past his prime, lost his touch. Others are saying he just needs time, the right players, that kind of thing.
It's fascinating how, even with all those wins under his belt, a coach is always under scrutiny, always got to prove themselves, huh?
Oh, yeah, especially at a club like Real Madrid. Expectations are sky high.
Right. They're always aiming for the top. So you mentioned all those different voices on Ciro's channel, right? Like, what are some of the more memorable examples of these critiques?
Oh, man, there's this one. This one is wild. One of Ciro's subscribers
Yeah.
actually made a whole PowerPoint presentation.
A PowerPoint. For real?
Yeah, I'm telling you. It was all about Ancelotti's, like, shortcomings, match stats, all laid out, and even like a funny picture of Ancelotti putting Florentino Perez to sleep.
Okay, wow. That's dedication, huh? A whole PowerPoint presentation.
Seriously, it just shows you how deeply these fans care, Like, they're not just watching the games, they're analyzing every move, every decision. It's a whole different level of engagement.
It's like fan engagement 2.0, right? I mean,
Yeah.
using data, humor. It's really, really cool to see that.
It's like a masterclass in how to be a super fan. And it's not just Ancelotti, by the way. There's a lot of talk about individual players, too.
Yeah.
One guy who keeps coming up is Tchouaméni.
Tchouaméni.
Yeah, the young French midfielder. Lots of opinions flying around about him. Some good, some not so good.
Right, yeah, I've heard his name. Young player, lots of potential. But Real Madrid, that's a tough place to prove yourself.
Exactly. I mean, think about it. He's playing alongside some of the best in the world. The pressure must be insane. There's one comment I saw. It said he lacks capacidad de sufrimiento.
Capacidad de sufrimiento.
Yeah, it's like mental toughness, basically. The ability to handle the pressure, the expectations. And at a club like Real Madrid, man, that pressure is off the charts.
No kidding. You're constantly being compared to legends. Every mistake is magnified. I can see why that mental aspect is so crucial.
Absolutely. And that ties into a bigger discussion, Like, is Real Madrid doing enough to develop their young players? Are they throwing them in too deep, too fast?
Yeah, that's a tough balance, right? Wanting to win now, but also building for the future.
And Real Madrid fans, they're not exactly known for their patience. They want trophies. They want them now.
Yeah, instant gratification, that's the name of the game. So it's like this constant push and pull between, nurturing young talent and meeting the demands of a very, very demanding fan base.
Exactly. And then there's this whole other layer, this whole other thing that comes up a lot. Referee bias.
Oh, boy. Referee bias. That's a topic that can get anyone fired up, huh?
You're telling me.
Mhm.
And on Ciro's channel, it's like they're convinced Real Madrid is constantly getting screwed by the refs. Like, every game.
Well, I mean, it's football, right? Every fan base thinks their team is getting the short end of the stick. It's all part of the game, part of the passion.
Yeah, but on Ciro's channel, it's like next level. They even use this phrase, compa arbitros. Like, bought
Yeah.
referees.
Whoa. Okay, that's pretty strong.
Yeah, it is. And you can just feel that anger, that frustration.
Yeah.
They feel like there's this conspiracy against them. And you know what makes it even worse? The whole Barcelona rivalry.
Oh, of course. Real Madrid, Barcelona, that's like the ultimate rivalry, right?
Exactly. So any decision that goes against Real Madrid, even if it's in a game that doesn't even involve Barcelona, it's like a personal attack.
I see. So it's like this us versus them mentality amplified to the max.
Exactly. There's this one video where Barcelona drew against Getafe, right? And on Ciro's channel, it's like they won the Champions League. Pure celebration.
Wow. That's how deep this rivalry runs, huh? Like, even your rival's struggles are a cause for celebration.
It's intense, man.
Yeah.
Like, this rivalry, it goes beyond football. It's historical, cultural, even political.
Yeah, you see those kinds of rivalries all over the world. It's more than just a game. It's about identity, about belonging, about passion.
And you can really feel that passion when you dive into Ciro's world. It's like you're stepping into this whole other universe where Real Madrid is everything.
Sounds like quite a ride. Yeah, it's like stepping into, I don't know, a parallel universe almost.
Totally, totally. And it's not just about the games and the players and stuff. They talk about the business side of Real Madrid, too, like a lot. Florentino Perez, the club president, he's a big topic of conversation.
Oh, yeah, Perez. Always making headlines. Galactico signings, big spending, that kind of thing.
Exactly, exactly. But lately, there's been more focus on his financial decisions, like is he spending wisely? Is the club in good shape, financially speaking, that sort of thing.
Right. Well, every club has to be careful these days. The economics of football are, well, they're complicated.
Yeah, for sure. And what's interesting is Ciro's channel, they often compare Real Madrid's financial situation to Barcelona's.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Yeah.
The two giants of Spanish football, always competing, always being compared.
Exactly. And Barcelona, they've had their own financial struggles lately. I mean, they've had to pull some pretty interesting levers to, like, stay afloat.
Levers, huh? That's one way to
Mm.
put it. Selling off future assets to raise money now, that's a risky strategy.
Yeah, it's kind of like mortgaging your house to, I don't know, buy a fancy car or something.
Hmm.
Could backfire.
Right. Big time. And, Real Madrid fans, on Ciro's channel at least, they definitely seem to be enjoying Barcelona's struggles a little bit.
Oh, yeah, there's a bit of, what's that word? Schadenfreude, taking pleasure in your rival's pain.
Exactly. It's like they see it as proof that Real Madrid is being run more responsibly, that their way is the right way.
Makes sense. But it's not like everyone on Ciro's channel agrees with everything Perez does.
Oh, I'm sure there are plenty of dissenting voices.
Yeah.
It's Real Madrid. There are always strong opinions.
Totally. You'll have some who are, like, super critical of his spending, calling him reckless.
Right.
And then others who are, like, defending him, saying he's a genius, that he's building for the future.
Right. That's what makes it so interesting, right? These different perspectives, these passionate debates. It's not just a one-sided echo chamber.
Yeah, it's like a microcosm of the larger Real Madrid fan base, I guess you could say. All those different viewpoints represented. And Ciro, he's good at, like, facilitating those debates. He's not afraid to present different sides of the story.
He's like the moderator of this virtual Real Madrid town hall meeting.
Exactly. But way more entertaining, of course.
Oh, yeah. Way more entertaining. Remember that video where he compared one of Perez's signings to, like, buying a Ferrari when you actually need a minivan?
Oh, yeah. Classic Ciro. Using humor to make a point.
He's got that knack for it. Insightful analysis, raw emotion, witty commentary. It's all there.
It's a good mix. Keeps things interesting, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And speaking of interesting, there's this other theme that keeps topping up on Ciro's channel. Nostalgia.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, like this longing for the past, for the glory days.
Yeah.
The Galactico era, all those trophies, all those legendary players.
Ah, yes, the good old days. Every club has its golden age, and for Real Madrid, that era, it was something special.
And you can tell, like, a lot of Ciro's followers, they're still kind of stuck in that era. They want Real Madrid to be back on top, dominating everyone, just like they used to.
Makes sense. It's that classic struggle, right? Honoring the past while also embracing the present and looking towards the future.
Exactly. And you can see that struggle playing out on Ciro's channel. They're trying to figure out, like, what does it mean to be a Real Madrid fan in the here and now?
It's a big question. Because the past, it casts a long shadow, especially for a club with such a rich history.
And it's not just about, remembering the good times. It also puts a lot of pressure on the current players, you know.
Oh, for sure. Imagine being a young player at Real Madrid. You're not just expected to perform, you're expected to live up to the legacy of all those legends who came before you.
No pressure, right?
Talk about a weight on your shoulders. And, that pressure, that anxiety, it feeds into the discussions on Ciro's channel. Because ultimately, what everyone wants is to see Real Madrid back on top.
Winning titles, dominating Europe, the whole 9 yards.
Exactly. And it's fascinating to see how those desires, those anxieties, play out in the conversations and debates that happen on Ciro's platform.
It's like a window into the soul of Real Madrid fandom.
Yeah,
You know.
it really is like a raw, unfiltered look at what it means to be a Madridista.
Yeah, totally. And what strikes me is like, even with all the disagreements, all the arguing, there's this underlying like love for the club. It's almost like
The family.
yeah, like a family. They might fight, they might bicker, but at the end of the day, they're all united by this passion for Real Madrid.
Exactly. And Ciro's channel, it's like the family gathering place, where they can all come together, vent their frustrations, celebrate the victories, all that.
And it's not just like limited to Spain or anything. You see people in the comments section from all over the world, like connecting with each other, sharing their thoughts.
It's pretty amazing, actually, the power of football, right, to bring people together like that. And it shows you how important these online communities are becoming.
Yeah, totally. It's like a new era of fandom. It's not just about passively watching the games anymore. Fans have a voice now. They can actually like shape the narrative around their clubs.
Right. It's not just the traditional media outlets controlling the story anymore. Fans are creating content. They're having these passionate discussions. They're influencing the conversation.
And Ciro, he's kind of like the bridge between the fans and the club. He's amplifying their voices, giving them a platform.
Yeah, he's not just a commentator. He's more like a facilitator, maybe even a provocateur sometimes. He knows how to get people talking, how to get them engaged.
And he's entertaining too.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess, part of what makes his channel so successful. He's found that balance between like insightful analysis and pure entertainment.
It's a winning formula, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's definitely onto something. So I guess, to wrap things up, after spending all this time with Ciro Lopez, it's clear his YouTube channel is way more than just, a bunch of videos about Real Madrid.
Yeah.
It's a reflection of like this whole world of fandom, this passionate, complex, ever-evolving relationship between the fans and the club.
It's a really unique insight into that world, and it shows how much things are changing in the digital age, the way fans interact with their clubs, with each other. It's all different now.
It's fascinating stuff. Gives you a lot to think about, even if you're not, a diehard Real Madrid fan.
Definitely. It's a reminder that there's this whole universe of passionate debate, insightful analysis, and, yeah, even humor happening online. And for those who are intrigued, well, Ciro himself has a message for you.
Take it away, Ciro.
Hola. Si está escuchando esto, posiblemente no esté suscrito al canal. Activar la campanita para que os avisen cuando haya un nuevo lato y compartir con la gente que queréis. Os lo agradezco de corazón.